So, very good morning to all the participants of this important and very interesting workshop that we have. Glad to be here, and especially anything to do with women and women's development. I have already been introduced, and see, I have completed a part of my journey, which is I have retired on the last July 2022, and post my retirement, although I'm very active in various organizations and consulting, but one area where I have decided that I will give all my time whenever I'm needed is in the field of, as a woman, I feel it's my responsibility to work towards anything to do with women development. So that, from that perspective, very glad to be here. And I have been, since my domain is entrepreneurship, so I will be speaking primarily about women entrepreneurship, and when the theme is women-led development, and how relevant it is, and how we can have more and more women coming and starting their own enterprises. What should I speak? Should I continue speaking in English? Now, how many English juta ko bolage? English only? Okay. We all know that India is today going through a very interesting phase. I think never in history we will come to a period where so much of interesting things will ever be happening. Like if you look at last 10 years, look at the changes which have started happening. Right? Everywhere we find that there is one of the major change which is happening is in the field of entrepreneurship. Everyone is looking at starting their business. Right? It is not necessarily someone who has just passed out that he wants to start a business. There are people who are in the mid of their career, giving up their career, job and then starting business. There are people who have retired and then started their business. We just had, one of the speakers in the inaugural session saying that, she's almost over with her phase and now she's starting her own. So across the various value chain, we have people who are actually looking at starting on their own. So this is something very interesting which is happening, and why this is happening is because the government is putting in all efforts to create an ecosystem through which more and more women can look at more and more people, I wouldn't say women, more and more people can look at starting their own business. And starting their own business is actually a necessity today. Why is it a necessity? Because we talk about India, it has become one of the most populous countries in the world today. And if we look at India, we say that youth is our power. Right? Youth is our power. And I think the median age today is 28 years, the median age. Nowhere in the world you have such a young population. Now this one is, we are looking at this as a dividend. The second is, if youth is a dividend, where do you absorb the youth? Are there jobs available? Jobs are actually not available. Nursing profession could be slightly different, where jobs are there, but most of the professions you don't have, jobs are not there. Since jobs are not there, one option is the government is trying to create a facilitating environment through which you have more job creators than job seekers. Today we want more of job creators and not job seekers. When we say job creators, you're not only creating employment for yourself, but you're also creating employment for others, and that's how the country is going to grow. Now coming from there, if I come to women now, women are 50% of the population. India's population, 50% is women. So unless and until women are coming up with large numbers, how does the country grow? That is why we are saying today it's a women-led development. Without women's participation, without women coming and starting their own business, you can never think about the country progressing. And for that, we have so much of support coming in from everywhere. We're looking at Atmanirbhar Bharat, we are having the startup mission, we have so many other schemes, policies you talk about at the micro level, the mudra schemes, etc. Everyone is talking about start your own business. So let me run you through entrepreneurship is gender agnostic. The same challenges a man will face as well as a woman will face. But there are a few more problems which a woman faces, which is not so much a challenge for a man. Majority, 90% of the challenges are same for a man and a woman, but there are few challenges which a woman faces, which often a man may not have to face. So we will look into that, and for that, a lot of support system is also coming over. So let me start by here you've seen nice photographs of people, women entrepreneurs. I don't know how many of you can identify some of them, but they are women entrepreneurs who have made a mark. We'll come to them, their stories later. So this is something I've said. India, women is nearly half the population of the world, and developing women entrepreneurship is indispensable to flourish as an economically dominant nation. We're talking about G20 today. Now G20, we can contribute. The expectations of the country will come only when women are coming in large numbers, right? So Niti Aayog also focuses on bringing women to the mainstream of economic development. So as I said, are there any special challenges for women? Although there is still a long way to go, India has recorded a phenomenal growth in women entrepreneurship in the recent times. Recent times we have a lot of nice stories or nice success stories of women coming and contributing, and but then there is still a long way to go. Today we find more and more women are looking for business opportunities. How many of you are thinking about doing business here in this room? Anyone? So I see a lot of hands up, which is again a very good indication. So definitely, because we'll come to why we have started looking at business also as one of the options. So I see a lot of, not very many, but there are a lot of hands up saying that I would like to start my business. So more and more women are looking for business opportunities. The overall perception towards entrepreneurship is changing. Very interesting today, at least that acceptability is slowly coming in. Right? Earlier what used to happen, only when people had money, the family was in business, then you would start business. Today we have so many success stories of people who had no business background, nothing, they are first generation. I can give you a number of examples here where you were a nobody, and today, because your idea is good, because you started something on your own, so you are doing so very well. Flourishing women entrepreneurs are inspiring others to be self-reliant and independent. So this is, something which has started to happen. But again, registered women enterprises account only for 19% of the MSMEs. Although we say women are coming up in huge numbers, if you look at the number of registered MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises, only 19% are women. So which means that there is a lot of opportunity, there is a lot of need for more women to come and register and start their own business. Many women are starting from their own houses, like they are doing small businesses. Possibly they are not registered, possibly they are not accounted for what their contribution is, possibly they are not formalizing their business. So the percentage as per statistics is only 19%. Majority of these are small micro enterprises with little potential for growth. One very important thing which we need to understand here, when we are looking at women and business, most of the time women who are in business are doing very small activities. We need to grow from that very tiny and small perspective. Often a woman gets very happy that I'm earning at least something. Who's stopping you from being ambitious? Is ambition a bad thing? Ambition is not a bad thing. Having a dream is not bad. So why be satisfied with a little that you're earning? So that is one perspective which women who start their business need to change, is the mindset. We'll come to that again later. So majority of some of the most common and biggest constraints, as I said, there are some constraints which women particularly face. One is lack of financial funding, venture capital to start their business. Funding is more a problem. It's a problem for both men and women. But often it's more a problem for a woman, because what happens when you go to a bank, in spite of saying that you have mudra, you don't need collateral, etc., banks, etc., when you are a first-time entrepreneur, they often ask for some sort of a security. So when they're asking for some sort of a security, or you don't have, a woman normally doesn't have any property in her name. Till the time she's not married, it's the father's property. When she's married, again, it's the husband's property, right? So that becomes a big challenge for a woman. So that the schemes per se say that you do not need to give security. So understanding of the scheme is also required. Many a time you'll go to a bank will say, what is it that you can give us as a source of security, and you don't have it and you're lost. You will find most of the women-led enterprises are not taking formal credit. So this is one major challenge. Then of course regulatory restriction, you will find that most of the banks, etc., are little, they take it as a risky enterprise when you want to take, a woman wants to take a loan, because they are not very sure. They'll think that if she gets married, what will happen? How serious? So that, bias definitely in all the system is still there. Since the bias is still there, it is on us to be more sure about what the scheme actually asks for, and to be more confident about what I'm asking for. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to tell you. So it is very important that I, as a person, as a woman, as a girl, I am more confident about what I'm asking for. Many a time I don't get something because I'm not sure about what I'm asking for. Does it happen with us? Does it happen with us? Yes. We get very easily satisfied, at least this much I have got. But as young, when the entire country is changing, when the ecosystem is changing, why be satisfied with little information? Why not go into the details, do research and find out, and as a matter of right, get what you are actually entitled to get? So that is one constraint, which I said, lack of self-belief or entrepreneurial drive. That self-belief, a lot of things can happen if you have that self-belief. That I can do it. That I believe in myself. Do I need others to tell me that I am good, or I'm sure that I am good? I'm asking all of you. Do I need others to tell me that I am good, or I know that I am good? So that confidence in myself, again, is because of that self-belief, lack of self-belief. Many times a lot of things do not happen. Fear of failure is more often in maybe because of nature, because of the conditioning, etc. Socio-cultural restrictions, this is something we all need to stand up to this. There will be restrictions. This is one thing I relate to all women, all the young girls who are here. Because the socio-cultural conditioning is such that parents will make you, at least in our society in Northeast, we are very lucky that, that a lot of biases are not there. So we are encouraged to study. But when a particular age comes in, the first major thing about the parent is when she gets married. So that becomes so big a factor that you start getting influenced by that factor. So there are socio-cultural things, and when you are married, after some time, when are you having children? So this conditioning is actually many a time women are doubly sort of exhausted in the pressures of the socio-cultural environment. So there, again, no one else can help you. You're lucky if your environment is not like that. But in case your environment is like that, you have to stand for your own self-belief. You have to take, sort of motivation. You have to take learnings from people who have been already successful. So these are things which are very internal to the girl or the women. It's very internal. So, and enterprising and entrepreneurship, mind you, is not only about starting a business. Because if you look at the word entrepreneur, who's an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a person who takes a risk, who mobilizes resources, innovates, takes a risk, and in the process he or she gains and the society also gains. I'm repeating the line. An entrepreneur is a person who mobilizes resources, takes a risk, innovates, and in the process he or she gains and the society also gains. Here nowhere it is talking about starting a business, which means the other meaning of entrepreneur is that a person who has these qualities, whichever field you're working in. Let me give you an example of your principal here, Unmona, because I've seen her growth journey. I've seen how much she has grown over the years. If you say she has all the entrepreneurial qualities in her, she has all the entrepreneurial qualities in her now, because she will always be, there are a lot of people who work, right? Everyone is working. But there are people who leave a mark in the same, so it's the same position that you're holding, but because the person is holding that position, it can make a big difference to what the entire organization, what is happening to the entire organization. So that happens when you are an enterprising person. So irrespective of whether I'm starting my business or I'm not starting my business, it's important that I become an entrepreneurial person. That's extremely important. Because then you will excel in whichever field you are getting into. You can be a doctor, you can be an enterprising doctor. You can be a lawyer, an enterprising lawyer. You can be a teacher, an enterprising teacher. So these are a set of common things which are actually important for everyone. And more so for a woman if you have to grow. Because today organizations, when you go and work in an organization, they're not looking for a manager. They're looking for intrapreneurs, manager-like entrepreneurs, who will take responsibility, who will take risk, who will think something out of box and try to solve problems. So that is a quality, irrespective of whichever field you want to go, is important, because that's what entrepreneurship is all about, right? So. Then, these are some of the points. I'll not get into everything. So these are some of the common constraints I think I've already. So access of capital is one of the biggest roadblock for starting a business. What is required for women entrepreneurs to grow? A continuous hand-holding and mentoring. Mentorship is something which is very important for any women who wants to. So mentors, in fact, mentors are required always in life. Mentor is a person who is a go-to person at any point of time in your life when you have a problem. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone from the family. It could be someone from the family or anyone, Whoever has grown, you will always find that I have someone who would give me advice. And you can know that that advice which is coming would be in my interest. So here, more of entrepreneurship, you require more of, the mentoring is a very important thing. Remember that starting a business is a difficult journey, not only from the content perspective, but also psychological support. A lot of psychological support is required. Because when you start a business, here I see Pratibha sitting here, she's into business. I think she'll be able to relate a lot to what I'm saying. There's a lot of requirements, because when you're an organization, what happens? When you're working, the end of the month, this much of salary is coming to your bank account. So you're secured that way, you can plan. As an entrepreneur, you're not sure. So how do you hold yourself at that point? So psychological, and then you are alone. It's a lonely journey. When you're doing good, everyone will come to you. But in your worst times, there's no one with you. So, so these are, so you have to be psychologically very, very prepared for that. And then on top of it, you will find that your friends who are already working somewhere, they are going for this trip, that holiday, this holiday, whereas you could have also done the same thing you did not do because of your choice, and now you don't know whether you've done the right decision or you've done the wrong decision. So at that point, continuing persistence. I think in the morning session, Unmona ended by saying, what is persistence, the importance of persistence. Patience, persistence, these are some of the important qualities for every entrepreneur, but irrespective of being an entrepreneur, for every person in this world. If you want to survive and create an impact. As they say, every success story is also a story of failure. You see the success today, but you think about how many times you must have failed. If I have to tell you about my story, if I say that in my journey, do you think everything has been very, I've been very lucky to reach this position? There have been so many moments which have been so very difficult, irrespective of the work. As a woman also you face a lot of problems, right? So overcoming that with the enterprising mindset is what entrepreneurship is all about. So there is a lot of support needed from the ecosystem, whether it's your friends, whether it's your family, etc. Support also needed to unlock the potential of women. So what is required is a lot of forums which are required. If you want to start your business, you need to be in part of networking forums. You have to be with other entrepreneurs. Then, it becomes like a support system that whenever there is something you have, that someone else has also faced that. That is going to give you a lot of support. So if any one of you are thinking, whoever has raised their hands, being an important thing is that you need to be part of some networking forums. A lot of women groups are there. Not only women, there could be gender agnostic entrepreneurship groups. Be a part of that. Now coming to the schemes. There are about 61 central government schemes and policies focusing on promoting women-led enterprises. Out of which 40 are specifically for women, 20 both for men and women. When you want to start something, you have to do a lot of research. Schemes are there, but schemes will not come to you just like that. If you visit an office, you will understand that the office, just by visiting once, you don't get any information. But it's important to understand that there are more than 40 schemes specifically for women. There are credit and policy schemes, training for women, incubation and market access. There are so much of support there, depending on what enterprise you want to start. You have institutions like the Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship, you have the incubation centers like the Assam Startup Incubation, then there are specific biotech incubation here. There's so many incubation centers which will basically help you to grow. Again, I will not go into these schemes, but so it's important to understand there are policies, there are schemes. So if you want to start your business, start by doing research. Start by doing a little bit of research, which are the Ministry of Women and Child Development is a ministry, Ministry of MSME is another ministry, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship is another ministry, Industries Department is the other, another department supposedly supposed to help you. So go and visit the Startup Assam, and that's how you, otherwise also, there are so many, today we don't need to go to physical offices. You can just network, you can just find out from various organizations, you can just browse, Google, find out, be a part of it. So when we look at women-led enterprises, there are women-led enterprises at 3 levels. One level is at the bottom of the pyramid, which is in the villages. In the village, again, a lot of revolution is happening. You will find a lot of self-help groups, etc. at the village level. So there is enterprise happening at the bottom of the pyramid, which is the self-help group. There are enterprises which are micro-entrepreneurs, and there are startups. Startups are what? Startups are enterprises which are using technology and innovation. They're innovative ideas using technology, and then you start your business. So, when you talk about business, there could be at the bottom of the pyramid, which is SHGs, then you have these micro, small and medium enterprises, and you have the startups. So different types of enterprises have come up, from rural areas converting cow dung to vermicompost, husk to mushroom, barren landscapes to mango fields. then you know today, let me tell you, when we look at startups, how do you start your day today? Let me ask you, how do you start your day? Just to understand how technology and how is becoming a, unknowingly we are actually using the services of different startups. To put it very, very simply, when you wake up, how many of you read the physical newspaper? How many browse on the net? Through an app? So what is it? Someone is giving you that, right, service. Then you want to order something. How do you order? How many of you actually go to the shop to buy? How many of you are doing online shopping? How many of you are doing a GPay, Paytm, whatever? What are these? Right? Everything that you do right from the beginning. You want to book a Uber, again that's another app. Have you thought about it like you want to order grocery, again you're ordering something. You want to take a ride somewhere, again you're doing something. You want a Swiggy, a Zomato, what are these? In fact, any problem that you have, anyone, suppose I'm facing a problem, which means that if I'm facing a problem of calling the carpenter, suddenly something breaks in my house, I need a carpenter. So what do I do now? Normally I call up the number of an old carpenter who's there in my phone call. But there are also other things like Quick Guwahati, right? Then in which you just ask for a carpenter, they have the rates, they'll send you immediately after half an hour's time. A painter, a carpenter, anything that you want, it's all services being given by different startups who have come up with these ideas. In fact, our entire life now, knowingly, unknowingly, you may say that I'm not technology savvy, older generation, but they are also being taken care of like that. So, similarly, today I'm giving an example of the type of enterprises which are coming up. Today, supposing I want to do you're organizing a wedding. What happens in a wedding? You have a decorator, you have something to order online, you have some presents, everything again is true. A physical person will come, but a lot of services can happen. Even to understand who is good. Suppose there are a lot of wedding planners. So how do you say, who are the best rated wedding planners in Guwahati? I want to organize a wedding. So I find out, Google, do the rating, and then I'll talk to the person who I feel would be good based on the analysis which I'm already doing. Have you ever thought that there are a lot of people who are already in this business helping us to do that? So these are the type of startups which are coming up. Now coming to the health sector, since you're all from most of you are from the field of nursing. So what happens? What are the type of businesses that you can start? One of the most common things which have come in is, elder care. Look at elder care as a big business today. It's such a big business. Forget about just providing help to the elders. You also have elder care in terms of someone coming and giving time to the elderly people in metros, sitting with them, doing grocery for them. So apart from all the other support which is required, elder care has become a big business. And one of the health is a sector, they even are sometimes advising what food to have, what nutrients to have. Everywhere there is a business opportunity. Because people are getting conscious and they want information. So look at any pain point that you have and that becomes your business opportunity. Now women are naturally capable of doing many things. I think all of us, there's no man here, I think all are women here, right, in this group. Women are naturally capable of doing many multitasking. That's a gift I think all women have got. In fact, when you ask, earlier when we were doing our management education, one question would always come, who's the best manager in this world? The answer would be the best manager in this world is a housewife or a homemaker. Why is a homemaker or a housewife the best manager in this world? Because what does a housewife do? So I might be running my house in 10,000 rupees. I might be running the house in 30,000. I might be running the house in 50,000 rupees. But if whatever money I have to run the house, I will, as a housewife, what I will do, I will always plan, because I know the different heads under which expenses are incurred, right? I will know that this much is required for grocery, this much is required for protein, etc. And then I will also keep away some contingency fund. Supposing tomorrow some other need comes, doesn't your mother pick up some money from somewhere and give it to you? Saying that I had just saved this money for some contingency and some relatives come, she will pick up some money. So what is she doing? She's actually planning the entire thing. She understands the heads under which money has to be spent, and she's also keeping away something for contingency. So this is something we have been seeing right from our childhood, and it gets ingrained in us. And as an entrepreneur or as a manager, you're basically doing that. That's on a micro scale, here it's on a macro scale. So this is something you are already doing. Second part is that we are constantly multitasking. Constantly multitasking. For example, if I come, I have to think morning, irrespective of whichever, whatever your age, whatever your thing is. Constantly, what is in the fridge? What do I have to give for market? What will be for breakfast? What will be for lunch? And then I'm also doing some work for office work. I might be writing a paper. In the back of my mind, when is my child coming? So this comes very naturally to a woman, all the time multitasking. But compared to a man, even through research it has been found, women are better multitaskers. And in an entrepreneurial journey, you have to multitask. So this is a quality, why I talked about challenges, this is a quality is already there in a woman. Plus the other thing which happens in a woman is that, if I want to take a break, sometimes by choice, then starting a business becomes a very good option for me. I might like to take a career break when I want to give more time to my children. So at that point, instead of thinking that, after 4 years I again come back whether I'm suitable, not suitable, I'm constantly doing something but at my own pace and time. So that entrepreneurship gives you that, that benefit of, working at your own pace. You can, slot it and, carry out your activities. So this is something I already said. But what we need, and then another very important thing is that it has been found through a lot of research that women are more, when you take a loan, although amount of loan which women have taken are less as compared to men, but women are always better in repayment. I have also seen in my life, when I have worked with girls, I've worked with a lot of women, they're more sincere. This I think I can say with confidence in this room. Don't you think that? They're more sincere. They're more committed. That's in their nature. So try to capitalize on what you already have. Don't think about what you don't have. Think about what you have. You have the ability to multitask, you are more sincere, hardworking. So these are things which are there naturally in you. Capitalize on that and try to get into something. But one important thing in entrepreneurship which I would like to say is that women need to get into non-conventional sectors. All the time when we look at women entrepreneurs, it's mostly in the areas of handloom, handicraft, then food processing, meaning making jam, jelly, pickle, or a boutique. Because of that, women entrepreneurs are often not taken seriously. When they look at women entrepreneurship, they think only putting an exhibition is good enough. We need more people in the technology space. We need more technical people coming up with innovative ideas. I'm very happy that your next speaker will be Pratibha, who's from the IT background. So we need more of people from, or otherwise, maximum you'll start a school if it's in education. It's very, very stereotyping. So you need to look at other options, and that's very important. For example, handloom. Supposing you're in the handloom, why not become a fabrication designer, calendaring specialist? These could be some good ideas if you're in the handloom sector. Education. Besides education, besides schools, can you have a platform to connect teachers and students, content sharing, discussion portals, gaming-based learning? Can they be, these are some of the business ideas which can come in, not necessarily only starting a school. Tourism. Tourism could be blogging, online portal, cruise, ethnic food. I mean, there could be many others we could look at. We could look at religious tourism. Beauty and wellness. It's not just a beauty parlor. What about nutrition? You are so well aware about the nutrition aspect of it. And nutrition is one thing which has a huge demand. Is particularly after pandemic, everyone has become so much conscious about their nutrition. Healthy snacking is a big market. And everyone is conscious about healthy snacking. Why not start something on healthy snacking? Why not something on nutrition? Why not do something on the nutrition space? Huge demand, huge scope for that. Then rejuvenation, fitness, Ayurveda. You know, can we look at, so these are some of the fitness, hygiene products, spa therapists. So it's not just a beauty parlor. There could be specialized, I'm just giving some examples, there can be many more. Then logistics is a big area. Like, you know, transportation, which is the logistics part of it. Supply chain consulting, courier service, movers and packers. We don't have very many women in that space. Just open your, you know, think out of the box. Every second person who comes to me says that I am doing some small hand. No harm in doing a handicraft. If you're doing a handicraft, then you do it in a big way. Start exporting. Not just a shop or, you know, every 1 kilometer that you go, you'll find a boutique. That's not business. That's trading. Then agriculture, you find 100 species of bamboos, 216 species of fish here. So do anything. Not just a fishery. It could be value addition, it could be processing, agri-clinic, cold chain, livestock, honey. Honey is a big business. You know, honey, has anyone thought about natural honey as a business? Not only honey, bottling of honey. You can get into more value additions of honey. There could be, you know, honey, there is the, you know, what was it? You know, the way they do it, it's the honey, royal jelly is there. Then a lot of other value additions, honey from the wax you can make into beauty products. So every product that you see, that you can look at what are the value additions that can happen through that, and that becomes a new business idea. So, you know, the list can actually go on and on. I just thought I'll share a few ideas with you. But one thing is common, whether you are at the SAG level or at the top level, there's always a need to do some. Do you have that urge to do something? If that urge is there, then you are, you know, you're not satisfied by simply doing routine work. So that urge has to be there. You don't have to go to a college to learn entrepreneurship. You find successful people, they are, no one has gone to and taught them entrepreneurship. Two traits are the drivers. Be clear in what you want to do, be sure, have 12 months money in the pocket, and a never give up attitude. So you need to be sure, have patience for 12 months. That much of money you need to have in the bank, that for 12 months I have to sustain and I will not give up. Then start a business that works for you and your personal life. Always when you're starting a business, think that you know whether you like doing what you're doing, not because someone has told you. Find out your own interest. It could be gardening. In gardening, it could be various other aspects of gardening. Try to match with the interest and the passion that you have and the business. Do research. Assess the market. Start with adequate funds. Some amount of fund is required. That's what we call a bootstrapping. Do networking and consult a professional. That's how you start your business. I always look at this, and this is very important for any women. Have you heard about Sheryl Sandberg, who's the COO of Facebook, now Meta, of course? Her book, Lean In, which is, name of the book is Lean In, Women, Work and the Will to Lead. This is a very must-read book for every woman. You know why? Because often women, girls have the tendency to lean on someone. She's used the word lean in very, strategically. We have a tendency to lean on others. So it's not just a job that I'm doing 9 to 5. If I want to create an impact, I have to learn not to lean on someone. If I look at my career, maybe 20 years back, possibly even I had a lot of traits which she's mentioning here. You go to a meeting full of men only, no women, then you have a tendency, a man, even if he doesn't know much, he will start speaking. A woman, if she's not 100% confident, she'll not speak. That sometimes becomes a deterrent. So, don't lean on others. And here she writes very nicely, it's an ultimate chicken and egg situation. The chicken is that women will tear down the external barriers once we achieve leadership roles. The egg is that we need to eliminate the external barriers to get women to do these roles in the first place. So how does it happen? No external barrier will automatically break. So you are the person who will have to go out, break the barrier and start doing something. Otherwise it's like a chicken and egg problem. Do away with the inhibitions if you want to succeed. You need to invest in yourself, confidently talk about all that you do without getting intimidated. That's important. That's a message I would like to give to all. Talk confidently about what you do without getting intimidated. Don't look for assurance all the time. Be self-assured, be confident. That's where you will do well, whichever field you're getting into. I think I will, because of time. So these are some of the women. You must have seen Namita Thapar in this Shark Tank, every one of us. So she's one who's broken all the, Falguni Nair is Nykaa, right? She's the first Nykaa's, the IPO which has gone to Adi Menstrupedia. See, she's talked about oral hygiene, menstrual hygiene, and she's come up with that. Look at her business idea. Google about her, find out, because that would match to what many of your professions are. Insurance, Ruchi Deepak is to Acco Insurance. So these are sectors, unconventional sectors where women have gone into and made a mark for themselves. And these are like people like Falguni Nair, they left their job. She was in Kotak Mahindra. I think 14, 15 years back she left her job. A very cushy job. She could have retired and enjoyed all her life. Right? If you retire and you say that I have so much of money, I've got my grandchildren, everyone, or whatever, and I can relax and enjoy my life. Not doing that is an enterprising person. Starting a business is a difficult journey, not only from the content perspective, but also from psychological support. Both support and ambition is needed and has to be nurtured. Support from the ecosystem is needed. Sometimes ecosystem meaning your support system in terms of your organizations, your family support. If that is not coming in, then you have to reach out to other networking institutions. So this is in very brief what I thought I will share with all of you. If there's anything you want to ask, any point which you did not understand, I will be happy to sort of answer. So remember what I told you, no? Don't think my question will be bad and so what will others think. Think about what you want to ask, not about what others are going to think about you.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. And having you here is I'm extremely delighted, and hearing all these points, every line has a lot of impact and lot of things to learn. And I have a question, small question. I may missed also what you explained probably. Before that, I would like to say all the people over here, the point touched me, satisfied with a small thing. Like I have seen my nursing fraternity, like they do BSc, they do MSc, then they go for the teaching. But it is such a, sky is not even the limit for you. You have so many scopes. They do not go for, they do not try for, they do not think of how she can have the better life. And particularly in India, particularly in Assam, in the private organization also pay very less amount of money. It is not enough to survive even, So like if you have the capability, qualification, why you don't go for? That is one. And another thing I would like to say about the hand-holding mentoring, what said, like when I wanted to say about Madam Sriparna, she is the one, she hand-holded the entrepreneurs for the last 20 years. So we are really very lucky to have her. And what she said about the psychological support, and particularly the multitasking, that is the confidence you should have, that you already know the many skill you have, and particularly for a nursing fraternity, you have learned many more things beyond the house. So you can really have the confidence and go ahead with it. And my question, ma'am, for you, that as you said, that a bank loan, as the ladies are not having any assets, like how to overcome for this. If you explain also, I may miss it.
Yeah, sure.
To you. Thank you.
See, as per the mandate, the banks are not supposed to ask for security, right? Mudra loan is a collateral free loan. And then there's another scheme called CGT SME, Credit Guarantee Scheme under SIDBI. Now most of the banks, in spite of knowing that, they will not try, because I keep on handholding a lot of women today, they are hesitant to give a loan. Yeah. So here what the role is, to understand and you stand for your right. Yeah. The bank, you have to be sure that bank cannot ask you for guarantee. Yeah. So you have to ask, and so that is what, if you are doing your research properly, then you know that the bank cannot ask for a guarantee. You go to reach out to the highest level. Yeah. Don't hesitate to even, I will not name the entrepreneur. Recently I was mentoring her, she had approached Netfee for a loan. She had gone to SBI and Netfee. So Netfee, they were, as usual, they were not giving her. So I said, do one thing. Everyone talks about big things about giving loans to entrepreneurs. Write to the CMD of MD, Netfee. See, I'm already doing business. How can I not get? Immediately that she called up she wrote a mail to CMD, she got a next appointment. Yeah. Finally her loan got sanctioned. So just don't be satisfied with so that is the point. True. We actually don't require security, but the banks ask for security. Yeah. Last time actually on Women's Day, the central bank was felicitating some women. I was one among them. Then I asked them, you are just felicitating one day, that is not your only the job and responsibility. You should encourage the entrepreneur, you should help how to get finance. I said like that, then after that I got a call, and also they have the women that loan sanction department also. Of course she is she's with me now. She said if you want anything up to 10 crore I can give like that. So I'm going to catch her up. Surely. Okay, any questions from?
Yes, ma'am, presentation was very good. Ma'am, for starting any entrepreneurship, do we need any permission from anybody?
You don't need a permission. You need to have from the day one, you need to have certain things like, don't start a business with a savings account. You need to have a current account. Register your business with, that you can start your business and register depending on what business you're doing. If you are starting a shop, you need a trade license. Some of the legal things would be there. Otherwise, if you are doing some other business, then you can do a Uddam registration. So you start visiting the office of the Industries Department office of the AIIMS, or some other, even the Indian Institute of Entrepreneur, IIE, or some other organization. Take support from someone so that you don't lose too much of time in that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Having questions?
Good morning, ma'am. My question is, we see a lot of people women-led empowerment and all that, about creating awareness and all that. But at the end, what we notice is that people, women will mostly bow down, end up bowing down to the patriarchal whims, because subconsciously we have that thing instilled in us. So even though we say that we have to bring awareness and all that, so how do we bridge this gap between, how do we bridge the gap? Like how do we make, bring actual women empowerment regarding, starting businesses or any bigger things?
There is no one answer for that. See, you have to look at role models. You cannot say that everyone become conscious and everything will change overnight. It will not change, right? But at least having, as an individual, you realizing and you starting itself, you can become having the confidence and not going down is one example. By seeing you, more people will come in. That is how the change is going to happen. And another very good thing, especially for the youth, is that the new education policy which is coming in. New education policy is itself going to encourage a lot of entrepreneurship. There will be the entrepreneurship development centers. These are mandates for the educational institutions. They are having the innovation cells. They are having the entrepreneurship development cell. So that's going to automatically, the change is going to happen, and that we'll see, because we're going to implement the new education policy now. That's automatically going to happen, right?
Thank you, ma'am. So I request now if there is any more queries from the audience to kindly note it down, and we will continue it later as we are running short of time.
Yeah.
Once again, ma'am, thank you for your comprehensive and very interesting presentation.
Thank you.
I request audience, please give once again, ma'am, a big round of applause.
Thank you.
And I now call on Dr. Ranju Das to kindly come on the dais to felicitate our ma'am.
Namaskar to all of you. I'm not sure actually whether you are able to see me because of my short height and the podium being almost as tall as I am. Can you actually see me? Yes. Yeah? A little bit of my face? Yes. Okay, fine. A very good morning to all of you. Young people, how are you doing? In fact, good afternoon, it's almost 12:30. Thank you. So how are you all doing? Already tired with a few sessions ongoing? Or feeling very enriched and more motivated to learn more? Yeah? Yes or no? I think a little bit of exhaustion because this is a pre-lunch session, I think. Almost waiting till when is food going to be served. So I would like to begin with a very good afternoon to AINE, Principal AINE Dr. Unmona Boragohai Soika, for inviting me to this very prestigious W20 conference that they have organized. I think the theme is woman power, woman-led development, and especially it's more of a personal, good feeling about being here, because we don't only just connect because of our gender, but also because of having always the soft corner of being in the same company. Yes, you agree? The area which has been given to me, the sub-theme under this is woman, to speak on women, education and skill. I'll start with a statement, a common statement which all of you have heard. That if a man is educated, an individual is educated, but when a woman is educated, a family is educated. And this goes beyond too, not only a family, they say even a village gets educated. Now how much in practice it has been used, it has been applied, is not something I've researched on. But I can add on to what one of our great saints has said, Swami Vivekananda. What he says, that all nations have attained greatness by paying proper respect to women. And that country and that nation who do not respect women have never become great, nor will it be in future. India, we are fortunate that we are guided by Swami Vivekananda. How many of you agree that women can prove to be better than men if given similar opportunities? Can you raise your hand? How many of you think that you can be better than men if given similar opportunities? Oh, many hands are up. Okay. And this is not just in education. Giving opportunities not just in education, but creating an environment for her to focus and flourish. We know many educated women who have excelled in academics, but later on haven't been able to pursue a career. Or even if they have ventured to pursue a career, they couldn't get the success that actually was already destined for them. So you also have to create the environment for her to flourish. How many of you also agree that she can prove better than men if the ecosystem is there that allows her to dedicate and use her learning, her skill, her knowledge to the fullest without any barriers? That you can do better than women. We all agree? Yes? Yes. Okay, let's move ahead. All of you must have had a little bit of knowledge about our history, about ancient India, where our sages were very wise. And they knew, they were fully aware that women had a lot of capacity and intelligence. And so they invested on them. They imparted women with knowledge and skill. And hence, we had some of great scholars, astronomers, mathematicians. Is it okay? Mathematicians and astronomers and scientists, women from that ages. Some of them I have just shared here so that you know what we are coming, what our DNA is. You have heard of Maitri, who is mentioned in a number of Puranas and is regarded one of the most learned and virtuous women of ancient India. She was a leading scholar who has made rich contribution to propagate education for women at that point of time. And she was an example of excellent opportunities available to women in the Vedic times. Today we have an institution named after her in Delhi. If we talk of mathematics, the name of Lilavati comes to force. Then we had Khana, who was an expert in astronomy. She lived during the 5th century AD. Just think of it, so ahead of time. 5th century AD, during the rule of King Chandragupta II. And there is a story also which says that once when Chandragupta wanted to know the number of stars that are in the sky, he asked one of the royal court member, Varahi Mihira. He was actually a scholar. He was himself an astronomer and a mathematician, to say it. Varamihira could not say it. But it was Khana who actually calculated. She said the answer to Varamihira, who went next day and gave the answer to the king. So, we are proving that women can do better than men since ancient times. Then there is Hemalekha. Now, she is mentioned in the Tripura Rahasya. Okay. Thank you so much. Now, she was a guru to her husband, Prince Hemachuda. She was a guru to her mother-in-law and with many other peoples of that time. Similarly, we had Queen Chudala, whose name is also mentioned in the Yoga Vashishta, and she also was a guru to her husband, King Siddhidwaj. Now, what does this say? That we have in our DNA, as I mentioned before, that women could do better than men, that women have actually proved to be better than men since long. And that's why ancient sage Manu had says, where women are respected, their gods reside. And where they are not respected, all work and all efforts comes to naught, means comes to a failure. Hence, if you look around today, around you, among so many countries, you might see that wherever women are not respected, in countries where they don't respect women, those countries are going through, what do we say, kind of destruction, in other words. You might see them sliding down. And those countries which restricts women's education, women's growth, restricts women's movement, they are all going through, bad phase. It doesn't even take 100 years for a country to get destroyed if you cannot give equal respect to the women citizens of your country. This is well proven. You can do lots of research, you will come to the same conclusion. Countries which gives women equal rights, equal respect, equal growths and equal opportunities have progressed much faster than others. We are also very lucky that we come from an ancient India, ancient Indian religion and civilization where we had female goddess. And if you see well, most of the goddesses were not just an equal with male god, but they were more powerful. They were given more stature, more powerful stature than a male god. Whether we talk of goddess Durga, whether we talk of Shakti, whether we talk of Kali, there are examples of lot. I'll move forward. Now what happened is that slowly, this was what India was, but slowly with invasions and colonizations, things changed, things deteriorated. And hence centuries later, when Swami Vivekananda came, he again spread this philosophy of the growth, that for the growth of the nation, he said it's important that women are regarded, he said that women has always been regarded as an embodiment of Shakti. She has been the pre-dival energy of a nation. He said that where male and female can contribute equally for the development of the nation, and therefore education of women need not be restricted, but is as much important for a nation's development as a man. The only difference is that you have to teach and train them differently because of their differences in physical and their mental makeup. He believed that women could excel in all fields of human activity if treated in par, and he said that women are equally competent to take up intellectual pursuit. He felt that unless Indian women were given proper education and respectable place in the country, nation can never march forward. What happened in modern education? In modern education, we use our education sometimes to camouflage our weaknesses, our wrongdoings, strengthen preconceived notion and misuse our knowledge. You must have seen, mostly in modern education, they do not emphasize the respect for teachers, for women, for elders. There is lack of compassion for love, conviction in the power of truth and goodness, the feeling for the poor, the downtrodden, the oppressed, the ignored and the weaker section of the society. Modern education lays stress more on achievements, on rankings, on marks and on position as the criteria for success, and we have built up a hypothesis that the successful person is a good human. Yes or no? You agree? How many of you think that people who are successful in career, making money with a good house, with a good vehicle and all, you look up to them as a role model? Yes or no? Except a few heads, but mostly we do. And when we are young, that is what is taught to us to be as a success. It is never taught to us to look at success from the point of view of contribution of a person, behavior of a person. Yes, we agree, and we are still going through this phase. Even if now we have become aware, we are still going through our phase. I might be compared with my colleague depending on what he or she is using to drive to work, the clothes that he or she is wearing, where they go out to socialize, and many more. Yes? And that brings again an inferiority complex among those who actually have a lot of potential, but maybe are not defining the success based on what modern society wants. Now this does not help human being to become very gracious, intelligent, fearless. I'm talking about modern education. It does not help you to become self-confident, self-reliant, and at the same time have, be people of values, of morality, of honesty, of empathy. This is very difficult as it was found in the traditional era. So what is
the use of a high position, of being a doctor, of being a scientist, of being an engineer, of being a technocrat, or any other profession, including yours, if you disrespect your parents, leave them to spend the evening of their life in the old age home or alone, or show violence to helpless women, or does not even feel for the deprived society, section of the society, what does he leave you with all the education? Therefore, it was felt by Vivekananda that there is an urgent need of finding out a perfect education system which is competent to eradicate all the social evils and promote imperishable development of the nation by regenerating human beings, the key component of society. And based on his ideals today, you must have heard of the NEP, National Education Policy, which has been designed almost on the same line that has been, prescribed or spoken of by our such philosophers and sages. Is that education is important, but along with education, you need to build up good human beings. So the National Education Policy is seen as a game changer. I don't know why it goes away. Okay. Is seen as a game changer. Now, amongst many of the positives which I am not going to detail out here, once implemented, you will see that amongst many changes, it is anticipated to change the social stigma associated with considering vocations as a career opportunity, and at the same time provide students a plethora of promising career avenues. Now, if it is going to focus on upskilling, adopting economic policies that facilitate job creation at scale, supporting business opportunities to empower the youth, and with the aim to help the young generation, all of you, realize your dream, which we call you as the Amrit Piri. NEP acknowledges the role of education in providing students with the right skill set to ensure their employability, so that they have a livelihood and a career, at the same time, importantly, bridging the talent skill gap. Now, when I talk of the talent skill gap, you all must be aware that we have a huge gap here that exists at various levels in almost all sectors, and it is very, very significant, because now I'm going to share something much more deeper. It is affecting the employability scenario in almost every sector, and as per the International Labour Organization, there's going to be a skill deficit of 29 million by 2030, which is significantly going to affect our GDP, gross domestic product, if you are aware of that. This is a little bit of economic terms. Now, when I talk of skill, I want to share a little bit of information here. Now, because we are moving in the age of AI, artificial intelligence, and while we are also at the same time inching towards the fourth phase of industrial revolution. Are you aware of it? The age that we are moving very fast, because this is going to also affect your sector, your profession. Now, employers alone look out for talent who possess domain expertise, at the same time have digital literacy. I heard of the term being used in the previous session, and I'm very sure you must have been updated. So in your profession, apart from having your own domain expertise in terms of your knowledge and skill set, there's also going to be a huge demand for whether you're digitally literate and you have the relevant industry skills of these times and the times coming in future. And I'll give you a few examples of how we are moving forward. The union budget came in February 2023. Now, what the government has done this year is has announced a budget of rupees 235 crores in the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. What is this PMKVY 4.0 focusing on? It will be only focusing on skilling lakhs of youths within the next 3 years on new age courses, whether it is coding, AI, robotics, metronics, IoT, 3D printing, drones, and a plethora of tech-based skill. I'm sure you're aware that drones are also going to be used in your profession. Yes? Aware? Yes, about lifting and serving drugs to patients in remote areas. So this is also something which has been worked on with drones. Okay, and the plethora of tech-based skills along with soft skills. So 3D, besides 3 centers of excellence of AI, is going to be set up in top educational institutions to realize the dream. We have a dream of make AI in India, make AI work in India. Now the aim is to galvanize an effective AI ecosystem and nurture quality human resource in the field. And apart from them, we as part of the government, we are also planning to set up 100 labs for the development of 5G apps in leading engineering institutions. Now this is going, why we say, this is going to help, because keeping NEP in mind to be a game changer, we also facilitate it with having an ecosystem. So the funding, the budget, every year the investment also has to be on track. What we're also doing, another interesting thing, is about 30 Skill India International Centers which are coming up. Now what it aims to do is to provide high quality technical and vocational education and training, particularly to young people, and to help you achieve the skills that is needed to succeed in the job market. This is a very focused one, so that everyone not only finds a job, but it's a stable job and it is a well-paying job. Now these centers will offer training in wide range of in-demand technical and vocational, and it will help you, bridge the gap that I said in the beginning about the huge gap that we are seeing, which is going to fall on us by 2030. There's also going to be the Skill India digital platform. Now what this platform is doing, this is almost in the stage of being setting up. What this platform is going to do is provide a one-stop solution. Please hear me carefully, because if you are not heard of this and if you have not gone and checked on these, you might have been missing on opportunities. This is a one-stop solution, one-stop shop as we say, for all information and resources relating to all such kind of vocational and technical education and training. You will find various courses which are here. You will find the resources and tools which will help you as an individual plan and pursue your career. Now it also includes a huge database of all the various institutions and training centers, and information is available, and also provides financial assistance if you want to pursue those courses. But most interesting is that exclusive announcement in the union budget about 157 new nursing colleges. I am sure you all have heard of it. 157 new nursing colleges which are going to set up along with, in co-location with the best of medical colleges. Now besides this, there are also going to be several public-private medical research. There's going to be dedicated multidisciplinary courses for medical devices, for supporting existing institutions to ensure availability of skilled manpower, for futuristic medical technologies, high-end manufacturing and research in your sector. Now moving ahead, I'll share something much more interesting. I don't know whether this is something which is a coincidence or this is a way of functioning of how the universe operates. The World Health Organization, WHO, has declared the year 2020 as the year of? 2020 was the year of? Loudly. No, Unmana, Dr. Unmana will not say. I want to hear from the young people. What was the year declared as? Yes, it was declared as the year of nurse and the midwife. And this was well before pandemic actually came in. So I say whether it is I do not know whether it is a coincidence or what. When they wanted.
One more thing I just want to say. 200 birth anniversary of this one also presenting here. And she also mentioned.
She also.
After 100 years she's mentioned, it was coincidence, like people will realize and accept nurses.
Accept nurses. When we were very surprised when we got this data. 2019, because whenever they declare a year, what is the new year going to be, it's almost done around 6 months, at least 3 to 4 months before it is decided. No one knew that COVID-19 is going to come in 2020. Were we aware? No. So they have already, who has said that 2020 will be the year of nurses and midwife. Of course, they have a background as to why they want to do, not because pandemic was going to come. I'll say you why. Who who originally had intended the year to be the wife of midwives, nurses and midwives, to bring attention to this field. Now what they wanted to highlight the contribution these people are making towards population health and reaching broad goals such as universal health care as a plan of action for people, planet and prosperity, which is in the SDG goal, you know, Sustainable Development Goal, which is mentioned there. This is what WHO had planned, to bring attention to them. And look at the attention they got. It was 2020, the pandemic came, and no one could move without the help of yours. When I also think of it, it somehow surprises me. Is this the way universe operates? And the peculiarity of fate, who declared, and we had the pandemic, and nurses became the forefront warrior. They had incredible visibility during that year. All the attention was on them. They stepped up to deliver critical nursing care, often with personal protective equipments, PPE, not even there without using, because there was a huge shortage at the beginning. There was a huge risk to their own personal health and safety. Certainly, the profile of nursing has been elevated to a high pedestal in 2020. As nurses around the world, they have provided it, and leading interprofessional teams in the care to be effective and at risk. Now what we see today, that nurses has become the backbone of our healthcare system. Do you know, under the SDG goal, where is the goal mentioned for yours? Is at 3, SDG goal 3. It's very important to know where you are featuring. Among 17 goals which there is, you feature as goal 3, which is a good health and well-being, though it's the main broad topic, but the role that you play and the attention this sector needs to be given is well laid out in the broad papers which are there. Nurses and midwife, you comprise almost half of the global healthcare workforce, and you have enormous potential. In fact, in 2017, the President of the International Council of Nurses had declared that never has been a time when the voices of nurses are more urgently needed at high levels of policy formulation and the decision making that they can now have. Nurses are not only reading frontline delivery of patients, public health surveillance and risk communication, infection control and prevention initiative, but are also advancing slowly towards critical care, policy efforts to improve health and prevent diseases. So your roles are not restricted only into the infrastructure, they're moving more beyond. Today we know there is a huge demand. There are basically because 3 important criteria we see. It's a growing healthcare. This sector is expanding very, very rapidly with a rising demand for quality healthcare services. This is what everyone needs. I just don't need a healthcare service. I need high-end quality services. There's an increased demand to put pressure on the need for qualified and skilled nurses. That's why even in the budget, there is all this link, understanding the industry need, what is the future need, what is the technology need, what is the digital area that we are moving on, and how do we actually channelize all of these things to ensure that proper training, proper education, proper facility, proper ecosystem is being readied. Then there is an aging population, as we all know. This aging population, and India also has a large aging population. Although we say India is the most youthful country as of now, yes, but we are not also, blind to the fact that we have also, because of being largest population, second largest, we also have a huge number of aging population. And what does this aging population require? They require specialized healthcare services. Elderly individuals often require long-term care, rehabilitation. They need for chronic disease management, creating a higher demand for nurses with expertise. Then there is also the increased specialization which is coming, whether it is advancement in medical technology and treatment. There is a need for specialized medicine in areas such as critical care, oncology, pediatrics, mental health and community health. I am sure you are aware of this. Now let's see, we see the role of nurses, and what we see that the role of nurses are evolving and changing, and along with this changing environment, we also need to have nurses with changing skill sets. So until and unless we know what is there, what the future needs us to do, will not be preparing ourselves. The question remains is, do we have the numbers, number one, because we see the huge shortage of nurses, and importantly, do we have the modern nursing skills? India already has a huge perennial shortage of nurses. I think as per 2021, they said it is 1.7 per 1,000 people. That's a huge shortage. Now, coming back to NEP, I'd like to also share what NEP talks of is holistic learning. Remember, we say that not just learning the subjects to bring your domain expertise, but also be good humans. So what we need to for that is holistic learning. Now, NEP promotes moving away from the conventional, content-heavy and rote learning to practice holistic learning. It talks about instilling a creative and multidisciplinary curriculum that focuses on other subjects while recognizes the importance of soft skills such as cooperation, communication. Say you can note down in your diary today or writing. Within the next 8 to 10 years, the kind of young people, the kind of children which are going to come out, you'll see a huge difference from how they mentally think. Because it takes almost some time to create change. It's not going to be easy. But give 8 to 10 years from the time NEP is implemented fully, 100%, you'd see a huge change. They are not going to be like what we have been brought up to think of career as the aim of. Today, India has put forth the vision of under the G20, it's front of the world. And when we talk of worth and voltage, and apart from an integrated approach to healthcare, giving importance to supply chain in healthcare, affordable healthcare, we have such things as Ayushman Bharat. You must be well aware. Now this is government's effort to provide free treatment up to ₹5 lakh. We also have the Ayushman Bharat health infrastructure scheme, which provides critical health infrastructure in small towns and small towns and villages, creating new opportunities for health businesses, investors and professionals. And the nursing sector development, where I've already mentioned, with the focus of opening 157 nursing colleges all around the country. And when we talk of technology in healthcare, it is very essential to make healthcare accessible and affordable. So what we do, we must have heard of the digital health ID. Yes? You have heard of it, the digital health ID, that to provide timely healthcare facilities to patients. This is already in use. And also due to the effort of, during COVID, you must have heard of e-Sanjeevani. That was a teleconsultation which has been very, very much in use during that time. Now 10 crore people have availed the benefit of this online consultation with doctors while sitting at home. 5G technology is also something. We are looking at a lot of possibilities for startup in this field. Drone technology, as I have mentioned, is set to revolutionize the logistics. This is already in use, is going through the R&D phase. Now, these are all something which are effort to create the universal healthcare. And this is a very big opportunity for even professionals like you who want to go up as a startup entrepreneur in your field. Now I'll come to closer home and share a little bit about what in Assam we are doing. You must have heard about the Assam Skill University. I'll only focus on what they have streamlined for women. Now this university aims to promote and expand. Okay, I'll come to this later. As expand skill-based education as well as develop entrepreneurs and address the gap that we find, which I mentioned before, in the skill ecosystem only for Assam. Now, it is going to be the first of its kind of university in the northeastern region. It is going to have the state-of-art facilities, and there are going to be several specialized departments. It will play a leading role in developing functional and competent youth at various levels in accordance with both the national and international standards. Now, this university is going to play an interesting role, an important role in integrating skill training with the general education system in line with NEP. They will provide skill training to 2,000 students annually per year, of which 40% will be for female, 10% will be for disadvantaged background. What are the schools that we have in the skill university? We have agriculture and food technology, we have healthcare, manufacturing and constructions, we have tourism, hospitality and wellness, we have sustainability, we have mobility, we have management. And apart from an integrated approach to healthcare, giving importance to supply chain in healthcare, affordable healthcare, we have such things as Ayushman Bharat. You must be well aware. Now this is government's effort to provide free treatment up to ₹5 lakh. We also have the Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Scheme, which provides critical health infrastructure in small towns and small towns and villages, creating new opportunities for health businesses, investors and professionals. And the nursing sector development, where I have already mentioned, with the focus of opening 157 nursing colleges all around the country. And when we talk of technology in healthcare, it is very essential to make healthcare accessible and affordable. So what we do, we must have heard of the digital health ID. Yes? You have heard of it, the digital health ID, that to provide timely healthcare facilities to patients. This is already in use. And also due to the effort of, during COVID, you must have heard of e-Sanjeevani. That was the teleconsultation which has been very, very much in use during that time. Now 10 crore people have availed the benefit of this online consultation with doctors while sitting at home. 5G technology is also something. We are looking at a lot of possibilities for startup in this field. Drone technology, as I have mentioned, is set to revolutionize the logistics. This is already in use, is going through the R&D phase. Now, these are all something which are effort to create the universal healthcare. And this is a very big opportunity for even professionals like you who want to go up as a startup entrepreneur in your field. Now I'll come to closer home and share a little bit about what in Assam we are doing. You must have heard about the Assam Skill University. I'll only focus on what they have streamlined for women. Now this university aims to promote and expand. Okay, I'll come to this later. Expand skill-based education as well as develop entrepreneurs and address the gap that we find, which I mentioned before, in the skill ecosystem only for Assam. Now, it is going to be the first of its kind of university in the northeastern region. It is going to have the state-of-art facilities, and there are going to be several specialized departments. It will play a leading role in developing functional and competent youth at various levels in accordance with both the national and international standards. Now, this university is going to play an interesting role, an important role in integrating skill training with the general education system in line with NEP. They will provide skill training to 2,000 students annually per year, of which 40% will be for female, 10% will be for disadvantaged background. What are the schools that we have in the skill university? We have agriculture and food technology, we have healthcare, manufacturing and constructions, we have tourism, hospitality and wellness, we have sustainability, we have mobility, we have management. And anyway, always take a go and have a look. This is coming up with Mumbai. The university. Yeah, my time is running out, so I'll make it fast. Employed of youths and adults, especially women, and those from disadvantaged background. 70% of the faculties who are going to get in these universities, of which again 40% will be only for women. Female applicants are encouraged. There is again 40% reservation only for women. You all must have also heard of the various scholarships which are there at an all India level. I won't read it out, you can take a screenshot. I would request all of you, whoever is pursuing your higher education in this field, please avail these scholarships. There are so many things available for you, but maybe I'm not sure if you are aware. This is one thing that you need to look. What I also want to add, that the future of a newly designed education system, it is such that it is actually student-centric. This is very purpose-driven, inclusive and real, where the teacher, the curriculum, the pedagogy, the assessment and the learners are all going to benefit in the long run. In the long term, they're going to transform into future-ready and future-proof employable youths. I'll end in 2 minutes. So Assam, as we all know, has a youth population of almost 6.5 million. This is the largest ever cohort of young people who are going to make the transition into adulthood, and it includes you. Now all young female students sitting here, you actually constitute, a very potential demographic dividend for us. You are the cohort that shall make a tremendous influence on the future of Assam. What Assam becomes tomorrow also depends on you. We are dreaming to make Assam one of the top states of our country. And how you are groomed, how you are nurtured, how you are being handheld is very important for us. How you are being readied is very, very important to us. The more mature, the more nurtured and the more equipped you are, we believe that you are going to be a larger part of the productive workforce of a state, and you will consequently, be a part of the well-being of a state. I'd like to end again with Swami Vivekananda saying, he is not only one of the greatest sons of India, he is also my invisible mentor. I read a lot about him. He says education is that which liberates, which is in Sanskrit, it says Savidya Ya Vimuktaye, which means it liberates one from negative tendencies, from ignorance about oneself. Relate to this what I said, what modern education is. And in Indian tradition, Vidya, learning of knowledge, is not opposite, but it is positioned as antithetical to avidya, means ignorance or of non-knowledge. And your vidya ought to culminate into atma vidya, that is knowledge of the self, to be complete before anything else. And he also said there is no chance for the welfare of a world unless the condition of woman is improved. It is not possible for a bird to fly with one wing. So when it comes to women, I would like to end with this note that constantly encourage them. Do not interrupt when they are dreaming big. Do not be afraid when they are breaking the glass ceiling. Do not pull them back when they are challenging themselves. Do not clip their wings. Do not stop them from flying. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your very educative session. So at this moment, I'll not give over for the question round, but I'll just hand over to our principal, ma'am, for delivering any short words. So now, since nobody is going to, since I'm not handing over for the audience, because we are running short of time, so now I'll just like to invite our ma'am Kakoty Datta, assistant lecturer on the dais, to kindly come up to for the state, ma'am.
Yeah, I know Ms. Smita Nath Boram for a very long years. I know her for a very long years, since when she was in IIE. I just met her. I found her she's a very good person, but after listening to her, I am at loss. The way she presented the power-packed informations, and I'm visualizing as a leader of our country, leader or woman leader like that. information, her expertise and everything, I can say that much. And also for covering up all detail about the nursing, what I was saying that 2020, the WHO said the year for nurses. In 1870, Florence Nightingale was writing, and I'm envisioning the nursing after 150 years, what the people will, how they will appreciate. And that's really happened to be the same year, 150 years, that is in 2020. Okay, so, and so well covered, and both the speakers about the nursing field also, I'm really very delighted and very right person aptly fitted for this purpose. I'm sure all the delegates are highly satisfied and lot of take-home messages are there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, once again. The last session will be done by our respected principal, ma'am, Dr. Unmana Borgohain-Saikia, and the topic is Nursing Entrepreneurship and Healthcare Management, Future Perspective. Before that, I would like to introduce ma'am. Professor Dr. Unmana Borgohain-Saikia is an educationist, motivational speaker, social activist. Official designation for Madam Principal is she is the principal of Asian Institute of Nursing Education, cum Nursing Director, JNRC. She is also the Dean, Faculty of Nursing, Srimanta Sankaradeva University of Health Sciences, Government of Assam. She has received various awards, World Excellency Award 2023, in recognition of outstanding effort in serving the civil society by the World Art and Culture Artists Entertainment on 12 February 2023. She was also awarded in the year October 2022 for outstanding service and dedication in the project conducted by NENA. She is recognized as one of the most influential women leaders 2021 by Excellent Magazine, August 2021. Now I would like to request ma'am to please deliver the session.
Already bombardment of lot of information, knowledge, and they're thinking what is there to learn anymore. Okay, so I don't want to tell the designation and qualification. It is not at all required for you all, I know. I beg your pardon standing in front of your lunch, but I'm sure I'm not going to take more than 20 minutes. Keep checking your watch. Okay. To tell you very frankly, in the beginning there were no topics as such for nursing. Nursing, all of you know that we need to know some other things, so I invited all the guests. All of a sudden Mitali said when I was at home that you have to speak on something. I'm really confused, my mind is here and there because so many information inside my brain, I don't know where I'm standing now. However, nursing entrepreneurship in healthcare management future perspective is the topic given by Mitali to me. Okay, so talking about the healthcare, where are we now? Present healthcare system is essentially a sick care system. What is health? When we are physically fit, mentally fit, that is called the health. So when we are talking about the hospital, it is not health, it is a sick care. When someone is sick, right? There has been tremendous progress on medical diagnosis and treatments. Care delivery has not structurally changed much. And fortunately or unfortunately, you can see a lot of changes are taking place, diagnoses are taking place. But at the time of delivery, what are the changes are coming, particularly in our corner, in our state and in our region? It was never designed to deal with the huge growth of chronic disease, which now represent well over 80% of all healthcare spend. When we talk about the healthcare, again I am repeating, why I am suffering? We are having a lot of diseases, we are running to hospital. Does it call healthcare? That is really a sick care. Why there is no treatment? Why there is no solutions? for the chronic diseases which we are already known to us, that reasons, causes. What changes are coming? Okay, you might be thinking why I'm talking all this thing. If you are going to do the business in healthcare, you have to see what is happening. The changes are coming. Perspective from industries may be different. So, all industries are very unique, that is for sure. But healthcare industries are super unique because each individual different. Taste of every food is different, the healing process is different, everything is different. And the people, disease are same, rich and poor, but the expectations are very different. It happens for our hospital when we provided the bathtub DEPA stool, when we have given the wash basin DEPA stool over there. So this is our place, okay? Need to see through the lens of consumer, what consumer wants. And in our place, the Assam particularly, ministers always expect that the head of the institution will be in the gate when I come to the hospital. It also happens for us, we didn't know the ministers from Arunachal came and was staying in our hospital. Only next day we came to know. Okay, so but every consumers and customers are same for us. That is the first, to help the patient understand the impact of chronic condition better, so they can play a more active role in managing. What do? We do the firefighting. We do the firefighting in the hospital. Patients come, we have to save life and run and run and run. But what project we are taking? What is our perspective? To make understand their chronic diseases so that they can take proactive role to avoid some diseases. The aim is to proactively keep them well rather than react when they become ill. That's what I said. When they are ill, don't wait for that. Educate them in advance. What does the future look like? Already so many informations you got about the digital device or the artificial intelligence. Be smart to use the smart technology. Healthcare should be as fast as managing finances at smartphone. So we have to be smarter enough. The moment we the way we manage, earlier we used to go to the ATM, okay, so quickly we get money. Now no need to go to ATM also. Only with the phone to phone it happens. So healthcare technology also need to be like this. It's just to be dealt with real time. So how we can save? Real time means within a definite time. So if we use the technology, suppose that someone is suffering, then we contact a doctor, then we take to the hospital, then the resident doctor is there, then the specialist, we wait for the specialist even for next day. But this digital device, digital technology will help us. The total scenario of the patient we can transfer to the doctor, specialist, immediately he can check and give the right treatment and right guidance. Individual tailored treatment. So future of healthcare looks like how it is. Already Madam said, wearable technology will spot signs of illness quicker. Nanomedicine can cure blindness and even cancer. Health problems in fetuses will be detected before birth. We said congenital problem, we can't do anything. Okay, it is not like that. We can cure. The researches are taking place to find out the genetic disorders before birth. Companion robots, socially assisted robots. That is also becoming very much helpful, not in our place, of course. A future where the diabetes has been cured, we are looking for. We say that now diabetes, every family has got diabetes. It is part of our life. Every third family has got the cancer. Every family has got the thyroid. So why we can't prevent it? Why we can't take precautions of it? We have to take care of the food from the very early childhood. When we are starting the weaning to the child, we should think about the control of sodium, control of sugar from that time. A future where people will depend on e-health. Okay, a future where 3 in 4 people will, with cancer will beat it. Now coming to the future of nursing. It may be possible to have a future without nurses at all. Yes, if robotic nurses are there, then what is the use of you? Other professions are already encroaching on the practice of nursing. Earlier, nursing were managing the diet, managing the physiotherapy, managing the medicine, everything. Now, medicine also taking care of the pharmacists, not over here, but in other hospitals I have seen outside. Total medicine prescription doses are being prepared by the pharmacists only. Okay, so like that, if we are not empowered, if we are not doing our job properly or not standing strong for our roles, then it may go away from our hand. If nurses do not articulate a clear vision of their future, someone else will. We have to see how we want to design. Don't wait and watch. Someone will offer a job, you will work. So the whole workshop today, we want you to dream something new, something different, something unique, and ponder upon it, carry on it, and do it and make the difference. That future may not include professional nursing as we know it. Whatever is today, it may not be there for tomorrow. So the vision for nursing will be, what if the future was defined as advanced practice nurses providing primary preventive care across the lifespan? The minute we can show that it saves lives and money, the public will demand it. That is our vision. What I want to mean you, that your nursing skill and knowledge, advanced nursing and skill and knowledge will reach to the people from the rural to the smart city. If you can identify the problems, if you can take the right action on the right time, then definitely people will demand you. That you have to be able to do. You have to make yourself skilled, more skilled. What if the future was defined as a profession, nurses directing nurse-managed community-based clinics that teach and empower clients all of ages and ethnic groups to take care of their own health? The cost saving would make them essential. This is a nurse, the first BSc nursing graduate from our college. Okay, so she is now empowered. She is in highly demand. She has got many accolades and awards. What is she doing? First job she got as a primary health center staff nurse. I met her 10 years back. What she used to do, she used to go to the village, do her own assessment, do her dressings or treatment and guidance and teaching. Now she became the community health officer. I can say, not by position, but by her work and power, she is managing the center and she is known by everyone over there. So this is the vision we have to see. From the advanced practice nurse in the critical care center, don't wait for the anesthesiologist to suggest. You tell the anesthesiologist what to do the next, because you know 24 hours with the patient. But if you do not have that leadership, if you do not have the courage to do it, then you will be always be working under someone only. So that is the vision, that you should manage the center, either in the primary health center or the advanced health center. What if nursing homes are truly homes run by nurses who under the management of geriatric nurse practitioner provided skilled nursing care or compassionate palliative care to persons who are unable to stay at home? So it is called nursing homes. Unfortunately, no nursing homes are run by nurses. Yes? Any nursing homes run by nurses? As far as I know, no, not even a single one in Assam. So as we have just discussed in the morning, women can do everything. They are multi-skilled. They can do. Then what is there that we are not coming up? Of course, it is a matter of finance. Sriparna ma'am also mentioned about the matter of finance, how we can overcome the challenges. So what is there? What is not there with you? You are not dreaming. You are not having the vision. You are not having the passion. Please have it and do it. I want to see the 5 nursing homes at least will come up under nursing leadership after 5 years, not tomorrow. Okay, let's reflect. Best vision. If it were nursing vision, we would know what to do when questions about education, research, scholarship, legislation, funding, activism, and anything else can come up. We would know that what decision to make, and we all agree because we all know the vision. So when we have the vision, then we can do it. So why the nursing homes, that is about the educational institutions and any other activities where we can do it. If we can do it, if we can make it a lead by nurse, stand by nurse, support by nurse, then we can really sustain and survive. So I don't want to say what is entrepreneurship. I just want to get the message what I got from Sriparna ma'am about the entrepreneurship. That is, she mentioned about mobilizing the resources, mobilizing the people, and most importantly, what? Take the risk. Okay, you have to take the risk. So that is entrepreneurship. Who can? That is the, I think Aparna was asking that. General skills and qualifications are beneficial for nurse entrepreneurs. BSc and degree are valid nursing license. Prior professional nursing experience within the relevant area of specialty. Are any certification or credential needed? There are no specific certification or credential required. For instance, a nurse who runs the home health company and provides a patient care may wish to hold a basic life support certification. Whatever you provide, that qualification you must have. So, not many slides, okay. The essential skills, of course, strong leadership, okay. Basic knowledge skills, skill and knowledge on accounting. Many times while we have to calculate, we don't like the women who sit behind, not all, many of us. Calculating and the marketing. And we feel something earlier, even for me, the marketing is not a good job, you know. What is the selling yourself? It is not a good job, but it is important. Even for my nursing college, we are not giving many advertisement. Why we have to advertise? People will come, but if people do not know what is available, how they will come to you? So that is very important, okay? And managing ability, marketing and ability to manage staff, that is very, very, very important. I don't say the manage should not be there, it should be mentoring the staff and the people around you. Then ability to work independently. Every time if you depend on something like, you know, I have seen that day one video just came up, the lady is asking, open the bottle, pull up the bag, this and that. That people never can do this. You have to be able to work independently. Communication skills are very, very, very important. Not only the words spoken, the thought you have in your mind, that way you are expressing this, all these things are very important. A marketing person, a business person, the way he presents himself may attract many, but a person who is speaking very beautiful English also may distract the people because of his gesture and posture. So, however, the communication skill, that what you have, that right thing at the right time, you should be able to express to the people. Willingness to take on the personal and financial risk. That is the risk I say. Okay, personal risk, yes, it may happen. Your husband may say, no, I don't want to stay, what business you are doing. If you are passionate, you will continue. Okay, then if you are having financial, you may go to the zero, but one day you will be hero if you do work continuously. So, but you should be ready, right? So this risk you should have, but I'll do it, I'll make it, I'll make an impact. So, how to start to become a nurse entrepreneur? Identify a problem. Remember, your business idea won't work if you start it with only a goal to satisfy your needs. Keep in mind, I love to cook, so I'm opening up. But in that place, how many the food suppliers are there? Already so many are there, then what are you going to do? So I like to do the designing, sitting whole day you are designing by yourself, but you don't have any marketing and communicating skills, or who are the people are going to buy. All these things you have to see. What kind of services you are going to start, okay? But fortunately, the nursings are still in high demand, healthcare services, whatever you do. Look around, ask questions and figure it out if a problem exists. List down all potential issues you could come across and use output as your basis for creating your own business niche. Assess yourself before you jump into your business. Assess yourself, your strength, your capability, your weaknesses. More importantly, knowing yourself will also help you think of business ideas that suit your skills, passion, and personality. if you are very shy kind of, if you are very introvert kind of, if you are not very passionate, whatever comes you do, the skill, what skill you have to do this, if you do not have, what will you do? You will not start your business. Develop your skill, change your personality, learn, because it is the whole world is now teaching now. If you, whatever you want to learn, you can learn it, you can change it. You can develop your capabilities, okay, but don't sit. You must start your business. Remember, business is a long-term endeavor, so better find something that you are really passionate about. But choose the topic, choose the area, choose the specialty, what you are passionate to do. Then only it will keep going. Identify your target market. Identify a specific market who are willing to hire you or buy your services. This is very, very important. Okay? Study the competition, learn how to study the competition before your launch of your business. So, finally, 20 minutes over? Over? Or not there? Okay, in brief, do some research on the market already. All the speakers mentioned it very well. Figure out your specialty, your capability, your strength, that will be easier for you. Okay, in case that whatever you want to do, if you don't know, you learn and develop your skill, that is must. Okay, boost your technical skills. Out of the technical skill, a digital skill is most important today, even for marketing, even for selling your business. Think outside the nursing box. Okay, now see this conference, when we thought, like, even I've been said, but as senior nursing people also, what is this conference you are having without having a nursing speaker? So I've been forced to be here today. But there, I believe all the participants will accept me that whatever learning took place, that was most needed for us that to survive today. Okay? Learn how to market yourself. Already I said. Last slide. Believing and investing in yourself is the best way to shift your thinking from a paradigm of excuses to one of solutions. If there is any questions, thank you very much. Any questions?
Audience, any question? If not, I suppose everyone must be very hungry. So quickly, I'll just say that thank you, ma'am, for your very short and enlightened speech, and the topic which have you said, it must have been enlightened our audience. So now I would request ma'am just stand for a while and come at the center. We would like to felicitate. I invite ma'am Mitali Berman, Associate Professor, to kindly felicitate ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.